The exterior of the Caterpillar EARTHCLAW 6 is the first indication that this vehicle operates under a completely different design philosophy from anything the conventional motorhome industry has produced. Where mainstream motorhome manufacturers start with a living space and try to attach it to a capable chassis, Caterpillar started with the terrain and worked backward, asking what a vehicle needs to look like, be built like, and function like in order to survive and operate in the environments where genuine adventurers actually want to go. The result is an exterior that communicates structural intent rather than visual drama. The body sits wide and purposeful on 3 axles, with 6 massive off-road tires generating a contact patch and a stability footprint that no 2-axle motorhome platform can approach. The body panels on the EARTHCLAW are structural components, not cosmetic shells designed to suggest toughness, but actual load-bearing and impact-resistant panels engineered to the standard that Caterpillar applies to its heavy equipment exterior construction. Every seam, every joint, every access point on this exterior is designed for the reality of operating in mud, dust, water, rock debris, and temperature extremes that would compromise conventional motorhome bodywork within a single serious expedition. The storage integration across the lower body exterior is a direct expression of Caterpillar's field equipment philosophy, accessible from ground level, sealed to a standard that keeps contents protected in conditions far beyond anything a typical motorhome owner ever encounters, and size for the kind of serious gear that genuine extended remote travel requires. Ground clearance on the EARTHCLAW is exceptional. The undercarriage protection and approach and departure angles were specified for the terrain this vehicle was designed to operate in, not for the terrain that looks impressive in a promotional photograph. The exterior of the EARTHCLAW does not try to look like a Caterpillar machine. It is a Caterpillar machine, and every detail on the outside reflects that reality completely. Performance on the Caterpillar EARTHCLAW 6 is where the concept demonstrates what happens when heavy equipment engineering principles are applied to a motorhome drivetrain without compromise or dilution. The powertrain is built around Caterpillar's core understanding of what reliable, sustained performance actually requires, not peak power figures designed to impress in a specification sheet, but continuous torque delivery, mechanical durability, and thermal management designed for the reality of carrying a fully loaded living environment across demanding terrain for days and weeks at a time, without service intervention. 6-wheel drive distributes that torque across a contact area that gives the EARTHCLAW traction in conditions where 2-axle vehicles stop completely deep-rutted tracks, loose boulder fields, soft sand, steep muddy inclines, and river crossings that most motorhome drivers would turn around at the sight of. The drivetrain components are specified to Caterpillar's heavy equipment reliability standard, which means they are designed to keep operating long after the equivalent components in an automotive-derived platform would have required attention. Low-speed torque management on technical terrain is exceptionally kind of controlled. Progressive power delivery that allows the driver to place the vehicle precisely in difficult situations rather than fighting for traction. High-speed stability on open roads and highways reflects the same engineering discipline applied to a different set of demands, and the result is a vehicle that transitions between motorway travel and extreme off-road operation without the driver needing to mentally shift from one driving mode to another. Performance on the EARTHCLAW is not a specification, it is a consequence of engineering that was never designed to fail. That point deserves to be held clearly, because it defines the EARTHCLAW's relationship with every terrain category it encounters. This drivetrain was built to keep working. The interior and comfort of the Caterpillar EARTHCLAW 6 is where the concept makes its most powerful statement about what the relationship between extreme capability and genuine livability should look like. Caterpillar's engineering philosophy has always been centered on the operator, the understanding that a machine performing at the highest level requires the person operating it to be in the best possible condition, and that means the environment around that person matters as much as the platform beneath them. That philosophy translates directly into the EARTHCLAW's interior design. The living space is genuinely wide. The 3-axle platform provides an interior footprint that gives the designers real room to work with. And they used it with the same purposeful intelligence that defines the exterior. Seating is substantial, properly supported, and designed for the reality of extended travel over rough ground, the kind of seating that keeps you comfortable after a full day of serious terrain, rather than leaving you stiff and sore after an hour of smooth highway. The sleeping environment is built for real restorative rest, a properly sized sleeping platform with meaningful acoustic isolation from the mechanical and terrain noise that working in environments. This extreme inevitably generates. The kitchen is fully equipped and proportioned for genuine cooking, not for survival-level food preparation, but for the quality of meals that make extended time in the field genuinely sustainable and genuinely enjoyable. Every fixture, every surface, every storage solution in the EARTHCLAW interior reflects Caterpillar's understanding that the people using this vehicle are professionals at what they do, and they deserve an environment that respects that professionalism completely. Comfort and capability working together, that is the interior standard. The VEER standard the EARTHCLAW establishes, and it is a standard that the conventional motorhome industry has never come close to setting. Tech and off-grid capabilities on the EARTHCLAW 6x6 are the category where Caterpillar's operational background produces the most significant and most meaningful advantage over every other motorhome concept in this conversation. Caterpillar builds machines that operate on mining sites, construction zones, and disaster response environments, locations where there is no power grid, no water supply, no fuel delivery, and no maintenance support for extended periods. The EARTHCLAW's off-grid architecture is a direct application of that operational philosophy to a motorhome platform. Power generation is multi-source and redundant high-capacity battery storage, combined with onboard generation and renewable harvesting, creates a system that provides genuine electrical independence, regardless of location, weather, or duration of stay. The power management intelligence built into this system goes beyond what recreational motorhome technology offers. It is proactive, adaptive, and built to prioritize critical systems automatically in the way that field equipment management systems have been doing for decades. Water management is engineered for the same extended independent storage capacity, filtration capability, and recycling efficiency designed for genuine multi-week off-grid operation, rather than the 2 or 3 day capability that most motorhomes describe as off-grid living. The connected technology platform provides real-time monitoring and control over every vehicle system from a single integrated interface: power status, water levels, mechanical health, navigation, communication, all visible and all manageable without specialist knowledge or external connectivity. That off-grid capability, the ability to go further, stay longer, and operate more independently than any other motorhome platform, is the EARTHCLAW's most practically significant advantage for the people it was built to serve. Remember that point, because it comes back in the versatility discussion at the end of this breakdown with full force. Safety and handling on the Caterpillar EARTHCLAW 6x6 represent the application of Caterpillar's operator protection standards to a motorhome context, and those standards are considerably higher than anything the motorhome industry has historically applied. Stability management across 3 axles and 6 driven wheels requires computational intelligence that conventional vehicle stability systems are not architected to provide, and the EARTHCLAW's handling systems are designed from first principles to manage the specific dynamics of a loaded, high-clearance, 3-axle platform in the terrain conditions this vehicle was built for. The result is a vehicle that remains stable and predictable in situations where the instability of the terrain itself would make a 2-axle platform genuinely dangerous to operate. Driver assistance on the EARTHCLAW goes beyond the standard passenger vehicle system's terrain monitoring, load distribution feedback, real-time axle status, and a driver interface designed to keep the operator comprehensively informed of the vehicle status and the environment ahead. Structural safety reflects Caterpillar's operator protection philosophy, directly the same engineering discipline that protects heavy equipment operators in field conditions, protecting the occupants of the EARTHCLAW's living environment. Safety is embedded in the architecture of this vehicle at every level, from the structural integrity of the body panels to the redundancy built into every critical system. That is not a feature list. That is an engineering standard. And the difference between those two things is exactly what separates the EARTHCLAW from every other concept in this space. Versatility and value on the Caterpillar EARTHCLAW 666 are the final categories, and they are where this concept makes its most complete and most compelling argument for why it belongs in a class entirely its own. The EARTHCLAW is not a specialist vehicle optimized for one scenario at the expense of all others. It performs on highways and in city environments with the same competence it brings to extreme off-road terrain. It sustains extended off-grid living with the same reliability it brings to a fully serviced campsite. It served the solo adventurer and the expedition group with equal capability. Extended overland travel, scientific field research,